Herbert Aaron Eisenberg early this morning, and I've been kind of racking my brains all day trying to do something. I never could come up with a suitable idea that someone else hadn't already done better. So, best I just say his condolences to all concerned. That he was a good guy. I didn't agree with about anything on him politically or otherwise, but he was on it. Sincere, nice guy, and definitely fought for what he believed in. So apparently also had a boatload of health issues though, and they finally caught up with him. But 50 is way too damn young, and I can say that because I'm 55. So, but yeah, and also apparently today Jack Donner, who played Tal, in Enterprise Incident, also died today. So they're starting to happen in clusters, guys. So not good, but larger issue here, and why we're not starting with the Star Trek opening. It's apparently we got this covered is going with the possibility that Disney is just looking to just outright buy Spider-Man back from Sony. Which is, I think some people would offer one of these, just buy him back, but the dollar total has always been kind of ridiculously high for that. I think the only way this deal happens, if it's actually happening, is Disney goes above Tom Rothman's head and go straight to Sony in Tokyo. One, remind Rothman he's not necessarily the master of his own destiny here. He has to answer to people too. And also, it's clear Rothman's not willing to talk turkey on this at all. They think they've got it. Oh no, and just the whole talking about in that statement. But about a character they do not own. It's like okay, Tom. You only own the movie rights to Spider-Man. Spider-Man is still a Marvel character. He is the flagship Marvel character. And again, remember the lengths they went to get back Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which was technically never a Disney character to begin with. He was just a Disney creation, a Walt Disney creation. They will get back what they want, okay? And while there was a lot of stuff in Fox that, I'm sure one of the big incentives to do the Fox deal and to keep fighting off Comcast and doing the Fox deal was that stable of Marvel characters Fox had. And I guarantee you, once Universal, gets filed, starts to file, they will again go after them to get back the Hulk and the associated characters. I think so far Universal's willing to play along, so that's why you haven't seen any war between them. But Sony, Tom Rothman is not endearing himself to the masses here. So yeah, and again it was Sony in Tokyo that forced Amy Pascal and to do the deal with Sony, with Disney in the first place and Marvel. So they see the benefits in working with Marvel. Rothman doesn't seem to see that. Well, again, he needs to be reminded that he does not own the studio. Sony in Tokyo owns the studio. And that situation could change rather quickly if it's suddenly not worth Sony in Tokyo owning the studio. And they own it to, say, Apple. In which case, because if someone were to buy Sony lock, stock, and and game controller, all of Sony, that's the only way that the rights do not revert back to Marvel. In other words, in any reasonable situation where Sony Studios get sold, the rights automatically revert to Marvel, free of charge. So. And with everything dependent, I think of it like this way. Yeah, Rothman may look at that. We need to hold on to Spider-Man. That's all we got, and if we can get things going. The Spider-Man movies are not cheap. And also, hinging everything on this one property is probably not the best strategy in the world. So I can see a few reasons why Sony in Tokyo would go for this. Because, one, we need to get them off, basically need to do a Spider-Man intervention here. It's like, you need to broaden your strategy, Tom, okay? Sony and Columbia and all the titles you got, they need to think on something besides franchise properties here. Okay? You need to actually make good movies, And also quit pissing people off, too, because, But I can, you could probably make a reasonable projection. And I think the way I would pitch it is look at what the Spider-Man movies made before the deal with Sony, or before the deal with Disney. And think that based upon past experience, this is probably what they will do at best, really, without Disney. And pitch a figure somewhere around around there, and figure this is the money you're gonna make. Maybe if they're okay. If they underperform, you're not gonna make this much money. So you might as well sell this to us now. We take our guy back, and then you deal with Rothman. Otherwise, like I said, if say we get your nice big expensive Spider-Man movie, and it doesn't perform up to snuff, I mean, these days, once upon a time, movie makes $300 million, it's a wild success. But when it costs that much to make, and you have to make at least twice that to break even, that is an unmitigated flop. And that leaves the studio wide open to being bought out. Because the studio is not making the kind of money it needs to make, if it was not outright losing money. And there are plenty of buyers ready to snap them up because they want that Columbia Pictures and and other thing, the back catalog and the resources to make their own films. So if Sony wants to keep a studio, they could very easily make this deal. Because it would be the capital right there. There's the money. Work on something else, Tom. You don't like comic book movies anyway, so give it up. And again, it would be made to actually make money off of the character directly, if the Spider movie bombs. One, you lose the money. You lose the money in the movie. You may be forced to sell the studio at that point, and then Disney gets it back for free. So, how do you want this to go down? You want to at least get some money out of this, or at least make Disney pay for the privilege of getting Spider-Man back? There's a lot of factors here, and again, I don't see it happening dealing with Sony Pictures, though. I only see it going through Sony Tokyo. Going above Rothman's head. And Rothman finding out in the mail on the news tomorrow, Sony just sold Spider-Man back to I didn't agree. We weren't talking to you, Tom. Go back to your corner. Anyway, that's how I see it going on. So. PayPal, Patreon down below, and you want to mail anything to me, Captain Robert April, 4046 North Goldenrod Road, number 115, Winter Park, Florida, 32792. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last one, but apparently let's just to collate for those who haven't been keeping up on this. The nursing home that Steph was in apparently wasn't changing the dressing on her leg wound, and that's how it's gotten infected. So she's in the hospital now. That could be why she was having problems and getting dizzy and feeling sick or whatever. I'm assuming they're going at it, and I'm reasonably confident it'll be dealt with in very little time and very quickly. But the potential was there that if this thing had gotten out of hand, she might have lost a leg or worse. So yeah, we're sending this little tidbit of information over to our attorneys. And there may be a little more action in the option here. So while we're waiting for our little, somebody to come back and with our request for one of these settlement anticipation loans, I think they're called. They get ourselves set up with an RV somewhere and get regain something of a life. There may be more action in the offing here, in which case Denver becomes more of a possibility. In which case, actually buy a real house and really get set up. You want a house, don't you, kitty cat? But yeah, anyway, they're not gonna put Steph out on the street anytime soon. They're gonna wait until she's actually healthy. In which case, and then they're just debating which facility to send her back to. Send her to for actual rehab. One of them was the place she came out of. I said, no. That's what started this mess in the first place. No. But they're working, and it's going to be, be covered by Medicaid, so like that expense will be taken care of. So at that point, it's a matter of keeping me in fine form, keeping gas in this poor beast, which I will say right now it's almost not empty again. So again, PayPal, especially because Patreon is nice because it gets a monthly check there. If I premiere this thing tomorrow, then the super chats will be available. PayPal's directly. It's instantaneous. I can see it when it comes in because I get a notification after the races. And just need like $20 to half a tank on this thing. In town's lousy mileage. I'm sorry. Although it's finally cooling off. I didn't have to fire up the car one time last night for the air. It's actually kind of getting nice now. About bloody time. Anyway, that's a long wrap up. So, links down below, and we will talk at you later.